Hi Psychic America, this is Tracey Brown coming to you today, December 10th. I hope it's the 10th. 8, 9, 10. Today's the 10th. December 10th, 2013. So, I'm not going to talk too much because I am going to do a reading on Chris Brown. It's a little surprise even for me, but I was having a discussion with one of my Twitter people, and it looks like this is a question that needs to kind of be answered. Like maybe let's not avoid the elephant in the room, and that's an expression. I'm not calling anybody an elephant. So, Chris Brown, you are up for psychic review. Maybe my last review on Chris Brown, I just think that this is an important topic to psychically put out there. And the topic is Chris Brown's mother the cause for Chris Brown's pain? And what I mean by that is, any psychologist will say, well, the root of the problem is your mother or your father. The root of my problem are my parents. However, what's been going on between Chris Brown and his mother that Chris Brown doesn't seem to want to heal? And the reason why it's really important to do this reading right now is because he cracked the windshield of his mother's car by throwing a rock at it. And that, for me, was earth-shattering. And so I actually did a reading on it, and I kind of saw the problem. You know, like his inner demons is his mom. So now I'm going to put it out there publicly. So, Joyce, you're up for psychic review. All right. Oh boy. I hate to put somebody's mom on psychic review, but I just feel like the time has come to really dig a little deeper. Because Chris is not getting healed. He's struggling with that process. And the courts are forcing him is Joyce, Chris's problem, and why? Why? Chris is struggling with that process. And if he's struggling with that process, let's figure out why. But that rock to his mom's car, bad in a way where he was sending a message to her. Like, really? How dare you? Really? You want me to stay in here? Really? That's what I got when I, hold on. What's Joyce's role in Chris Brown's anger? What's Joyce's role in Chris Brown's anger? What's Joyce's role in Chris Brown's anger? Let's take a look. Oh my God. Not comfortable with this because I'm a mom and I have a 25-year-old. And if anybody would have said anything to me about how I might have been the cause, oh, it would hurt me. But sometimes we just need to know. Sometimes we just need to know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards. All right, let's take a look. Mom's in a lot of pain. Oh, the truth. The truth of the matter is, mom's the problem. Mom's the problem. I'm also getting passions ignited, which to me means, Joyce, you got to step out of your son's life. You got to step out. You got to step out. Just step out. Don't worry about what friends he's hanging out with. Don't worry about who he's dating. If you have any business that would make you communicate with Chris, get out. You know, there's too much going on here with you, Joyce, for Chris to heal. Wow. Um, wow. Um, Mom, you're too deep in this. You're way too deep. And I gotta tell you, Chris is gonna discover that. Chris is gonna discover, and he's either gonna get authorized through his counseling, ironically, like, you think counseling, you think you want him to stay in counseling, but what he's gonna discover is that you're a big problem for him. Big. He's gonna get authorized to release you for a while. Like, it would be better if you could take the control and release yourself, but I'm getting that you're too passionate about your baby to do that. Like, you're too passionate. Like, you're too deep. He's not 5 anymore. You don't need to, like, wipe his, like, mouth, or, do his nose like moms do. Like, he's gonna release you, Joyce. And it's going to hurt, I promise you. But it's absolutely gonna be necessary. He has to do this. Oh, Joyce, you're gonna be in so much pain in a minute. Like, so much pain. Chris has to release you. Chris has to release you. He has to pull the umbilical cord that you've been holding. He has to pull the umbilical cord right from under you. You have not done that. Literally. You have not done that. And I mean literally. This isn't metaphorically. This is literally. You have not released your son so that he could just be a man and make his mistakes. He's making mistakes, but he's making mistakes in a rebellious kind of way. He's not making manhood mistakes that guys are just trying to go through life. The cards are telling me to tell you, Chris, what is it that you really want? What is it that you really want? Because you could still have your heart's desire. Doors can still open for you. Take the necessary steps to be honest with yourself and to understand the parallel between your mom and women. Okay, so those are one set of cards. Let me check the final outcome. I don't know what sign. There's a lot of somebody's going to ask you to get out, Joyce. Somebody's going to ask you to get out. Somebody's going to ask you to get out. Get out. Somebody's going to ask you. This isn't a psychic reading. This is like somebody's going to say, can you leave? Can you step out of this? And you might have to step out for a while. And I got to tell you, Joyce, I see a length of 9 years. 9 years of not dealing with the intimate part of your son's world. The intimate part. Like, just be a mom is what I feel like somebody's going to direct for you. I feel like it's going to be a female, though, so I don't know who Chris's counselors are, but I do definitely feel like it's a woman that says this to you, Joyce. I'm getting you're kind of not letting him grow up. I'm getting that you're treating him like a baby. That's what I'm getting. I don't think I'm wrong. There's a lot of deception, a lot of things that you wish you could put under the table, Joyce, and never talk about. But I also have the Moon card, which is my deceptive card, in the number 4 position. Number 4 means these secrets come out. Now, whether or not Chris publicly says, this is what I've been angry about, Chris is kind of raw, so he's apt to say that. He's apt to tell the world, this is what I've been dealing with, and this is the reason why I did what I did, in terms of how I react to people in general, not just, his anger management, Joyce, comes from you. Here's what I'm getting. I thought I would see the intimate part of it, which I had seen in the past, which is, what I've seen in the past is that, Joyce, you've had some abusive relationships, that you have allowed Chris to see you get abused, that Chris at one point was helpless, that even at some point, Chris tried to step in to help you, and either you didn't let him help, or just when he thought that he was safe and you were safe, you would let the guy back in again, which meant he was now helpless, which meant his anger was now toward you. And yet you're his mom, and he's like 13 or 10, and he can't like kick your ass. Like, what the hell are you doing? You know, and you let some dude back in that was abusing you and allowed him to witness like all of this abuse. So, Joyce, Chris's anger management comes from his upbringing, from you, from an intimate part of from an intimate view. And somehow or another, you guys never clear the air. Like, I don't think you've ever said, I was wrong, I'm sorry, I did this. It's okay for you to say things like that, Joyce. But all of a sudden, you wound up immersed. If I'm wrong, please help me. I don't think I'm wrong. I think you wound up immersed in some of his, business dealings. Or were you a momager too at one point? I think you were. Chris is inside his head, and he can't figure out that you're the problem. He can't figure it out, but somebody informs him of that, and then there's a decision that needs to be made to let you go. I have a funny feeling, Chris, if you handled this between you and your mom, Rihanna gets to step back in, because you're focusing on handling all of the things that created you the way you stand today. Chris, if you handle this and get the counseling and get the acknowledgement, I don't want people to be mad at me, but there does seem to be a separation that needs to happen between mom and son. Not to say that you should never talk with her again. I'm not authorizing that. I am saying, Joyce, if you're in this business, consciously get out. I see you hurt, so I don't think you do it consciously. I think you need to leave. And Chris, if that doesn't happen, you may have to break the ties.